Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurain Afrina binti Amroz and my matric number 1221499. Inshallah, today we are from group 4. We present the topic of court assigned counsel. Okay, first, what is an assigned counsel? An assigned counsel means a lawyer who is appointed by the court to represent an indigent person. Who is indigent person? Indigent person, those who have been criminally charged and cannot otherwise obtain or pay for an attorney or lawyer. Okay, so that some criteria must be made to qualify for assistance from a court assigned counsel. And court assigned counsel, also called as court appointed attorney, and court appointed attorney are employed by the federal government in most cases, but in some work for non-profit entities, which means non-governmental organisation, NGO, are funded by the federal. Okay, next, what are the criteria to get court assigned counsel? Basically, there are two criteria. The first one must be facing a criminal charge, and the second one, the defendants must further prove indigent. Okay, so for the first criteria, must be facing a criminal charge, which means the defendants must be involved in capital punishment or death penalty, like just such as murder, drug trafficking, or possession of firearms. Okay, so second criteria, the defendants must further prove indigence. So the defendant needs to fill out some document to prove that he can't afford for a lawyer, and so that the court will appoint one for them through the legal aid department. Okay, next, what are the duties of court assigned counsel? Okay, there are 4 duties for an assigned counsel. The first one, advising the defendant of their rights and the charges against them. Second, investigating the case and gathering evidence to build a defense. Third, representing the defendant in court and advocating for their right, for their interest. And the last one, advising the defendant on the potential outcome of the case and the possible sentence they may face if convicted. Okay, so it is important to note that even though the lawyer is court-appointed lawyer, but the lawyer has the same ethical obligations to the defendants. Just like private retail lawyer. And when the lawyer agree to accept his appointment as court assigned counsel, he must complete the appointment to the best of his ability, and he cannot arbitrarily withdraw from the appointment unless there is a request from the defendants before the trial begins and with the permission of the court. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Next, the qualification as court-appointed lawyers. Firstly, must actively practicing as an advocate and solicitor for a period of 5 years and above. After that, must actively handling criminal cases for a period of 5 years, and within the said 5 years, has independently or assisted the defendantly. Okay, next, the procedure of court assigned counsel. First, people who are accused get the death penalty. After that, the accused can't afford to pay the legal fee. After that, the court will assign appointed counsel to represent the accused. And finally, the counsel will help the accused.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Farhanisya binti Anuar. My matric number is 1221497, and let's go through to the court that applies CAC, which is court assigned counsel. And the first one is criminal case, where the person accused of capital punishment offence, and the second one is a civil case, where the president of the COE or the chief justice consider to be in the interest of justice that legal aid should be given. And for the legal framework, number 1, S255 of the Criminal Procedure could grant the accused the right to be defended by an advocate. Number 2, Rule 66 Rule of the Court of Appeal 1994 and Rule 1969 Rule of the Federal Court 1995 provide as follows: in an appeal where the party Toretto is not legally represented, the registrar of the court shall assign a solicitor to present him in every case where the person has been sentenced to death and any other case where the president consider it is in the interest of justice that legal aid should be given. And the last one is Federal Court Registrar Circular.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurin Nashrah binti Fauzi. Today, I want to explain about pros of private attorney. Okay, so the pros of attorney, the first one is availability. A private attorney will always be available to you. It means a great attorney will also have a staff that can assist you. It means they will have more resources and they will get a better outcome and settle up the problem that the client has. Second, empathetic. A private attorney will take the time to understand your side and navigate a plan accordingly. So the last one is network. Usually a private attorney works in all different courtrooms and in different cities and countries. So they will have access to unique resources that can be an asset to you. So that's all about pros of attorney. Okay, now we will look about the problem with court-appointed attorney. The first one is not all defendants can qualify for a court-appointed attorney. It's because to be assigned one, the defendant needs to be accused of a severe criminal offence. People are not provided with a court-appointed attorney for civil or administrative matters. Okay, next, the defendant never has a choice of who to represent them. When a person chooses to have a court-appointed attorney, the court will appoint one for them. Hence, have no say if they do not like them. So the last one is too many court-appointed attorneys do very little for their clients. Statistics show that most defendants who have been assigned one never make it to trial. These lawyers, the court-appointed attorney, always advise taking plea bargains to avoid the hassle of going through a trial to their client. Okay, so that's all for me. Thank you.
My name is Amirah Balqis binti Roslan, number matrix 1221496. So next, I want to present the payment of the court assigned counsel. So firstly, procedure of the payment is court assigned counsel needs to be paid after the cases was finished. And second, fee claims must be made by completing the documents. And claims for payment of actual costs must be supported by submitting a receipt certified as valid by a court assigned counsel. And lastly, the payment will be paid depends on the court. Next, the payment for High Court. Full payment, 6,000 ringgit Malaysia, will be paid to the counsel who, if the counsel handle cases until the accused is freed for prosecution and defense. And for the case of the accused is pleading guilty to alternative or reduced charges, and lastly, High Court remisation to the lower court. Next, the getting up of the payment for High Court. Firstly, case management only, Counsel will receive 1,000 ringgit Malaysia. And second, until the prosecution case is over, the Counsel will receive 3,000 ringgit Malaysia. And third, the final stage defending Counsel will receive 2,000 ringgit Malaysia. Lastly, the Appeal Court and Federal Court. The getting up of the payment for Appeal Court will receive 3,000 ringgit Malaysia and Federal Court will receive 3,500 ringgit Malaysia. So, there have a three method of payment for Appeal Court and Federal Court. So, firstly, full payment can be made if the Counsel handle the case till completion. And second, court assigned Counsel is directed to disqualify at any stage of the appeal in open court because the accused wants his own counsel. And third, during appeal, court assigned Counsel changes. Then a new court assigned attorney will earn full salary for that stage provided that open court allows counsel changes. Next, half payment can be made if the counsel has been asked for disqualification because the accused applied to another counsel or a new court assigned counsel. So second, counsel requests disqualification from open court on acceptable and court authorized grounds. Lastly, the getting up of the payment for Appeal Court and Federal Court will not be paid if the counsel requests disqualification by a letter. And second, counsel has no cause disqualified. Lastly, the Appeal Court and Federal Court, the getting up of the payment for Appeal Court will